Hey you guys, I am back with another video, and today's topic we are talking all about your menstrual feminine hygienes and how you can eliminate odor, and also how you can prepare for premenopausal. If you are a mature woman of age like myself, then menopause is right around the corner. So I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks on how you can prepare, and also tips on how you can be fresh, smell your absolute best, even on your menstrual cycle. So if that is something that interests you, keep on watching. All right, so listen, the first thing I want to go ahead and get out the way is make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your bell notifications, because I typically upload 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Sometimes I throw out a bonus video, but I want you guys to understand that this channel is a no judgment zone. We talk a lot about self-care, hygiene, and life advice, lifestyle content. So make sure, if that is something that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's jump right into it. So what is your menstrual cycle? Because I know I have quite a few of young ladies that follow me, and I want to make sure I break it down for you guys so that you can absolutely make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to do to keep yourself smelling fresh. Because we all know when it's that time of the month, we tend to get a little insecure because of all the blood flowing and all of that good stuff. So the first things first, a menstrual cycle is something that happens in a woman's body. I'm just going to put it in lame terms. I'm not going to put a picture of the definition that the Google put up there, but it's pretty much a 21 to 28 day cycle. And it's kind of like your hormone and reproductive system goes through different changes every month, and that's when the flow of blood happens. Really, basically, your precious, what I'm going to call it, your lady parts, it is a cleaning, self-cleaning little instrument, a little tool down there. And when you count on your cycle every month, that's a form of cleaning out. If you notice, sometimes you may have blood clots, and blood clots are those little things. To me, it looks like a little sperm. That's what it looks like, but it's red, and it has like a little head and a little tail, and you pass those during your monthly cycle, and it's just a form of cleaning. That's the best way I can put it. And so you're going to have those as long as you are on this earth, as long as you're breathing. You are going to have a menstrual cycle, unless you have, you hit menopause and you stop having cycles or what have you, but you are going to have a cycle flow at least once a month. All right, so now that we got the what exactly is a menstrual period, now we can move on to my tips and tricks. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is when you are on your menstrual cycle, my best advice is to wear dark undergarments. Try to stay away from whites. I sometimes wear white. Is just because I've been having a cycle for years, and I've gotten used to how my body operates. But I mostly wear darker clothes, especially darker garments when I'm on that, it's that time of the month. Because if you are like me, I have a heavy flow. My first 3 to 4 days, I'm dripping like lemonade coming out of the fountain, because it's a heavy flow. And so the second tip I want to encourage you to do is change your pads often. Listen, and it's finna get ready to be fall, but especially in those hot, heated summer months, you need to change. If you have a heavy flow, and you have a heavy flow, you got to be prepared. That means you got to have, and I like the pads with the wings. I feel the most secure, and I wear tampons. But for you younger ladies, if you can't wear tampons, make sure you get the super size pads. And I'm gonna put some pictures up here so you can see the ones that I use. I'm gonna have the higher end kind, and I'm gonna have the affordable kind. But make sure you are changing your pad at least every 2 hours, because when you heavy, that pad fills up fast, especially if you don't have a tampon on to kind of help you out. that pad is going to get full really quickly. I know for myself, y'all, I'm a heavy floor. And boy, my first 2-3 days, I'm like very emotional. I can always tell when it's that time of the month because I start to crave chocolate. I mean, I be wanting chocolate, like chocolate with the peanuts in it. I mean, my back sometimes start to hurt. When I was younger, my back would hurt. That would be my clear inclination that it's that time of the month coming. But since I've gotten older, I cramp more. And here's the funny part. My doctor, my gynecologist, when I was growing up, used to tell me, after you have your babies will straighten your uterus up, because instead of my uterus going straight up, it's tilted. And every time I have a menstrual cycle, it cramps a little bit worse as opposed to a normal uterus when it's going straight up. So being that I wasn't able to have a natural birth with my children, I had a cesarean, which I'm glad I didn't, because I'm glad I didn't want them to stretch my precious out down there. So I'm kind of glad I had a cesarean, but I didn't get a chance for me to push my babies out to kind of straighten my uterus up. So I still cramp really bad my first couple of days. And all I really want to do at that point is just lay down and just take, I don't like to really be bothered when I'm like that. That's another plus of working from home. I don't have to deal with people, especially that time of the month, because every little thing makes me emotional and I get very irritable. So make sure you are wearing and changing your tampons regularly. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your pair of panties, and this is actually a brand new pair of panties, but you're going to take your pair of panties, and this is your front. And you always want to wear cotton panties, you guys. I talk about this all the time, but this is your front and this is your back. And what you want to do is you want to take your pad and you're going to wrap your wings around it. You're going to wrap your wings, and that way it's secure and you won't have to worry about it sliding out, all that good stuff. And another thing I do is I wear, if you're old school like me, my mother used to have me wearing a panty girdle. That's what they don't call it that now. They call it Spanx now. But I used to wear a brief panty girdle just for that extra security when I have my period, just for extra security, because you don't want nothing leaking out, y'all. That's the most embarrassing thing. You don't want nothing leaking out. And so when you get ready to change this, you take it out your panties, and the wrap that it was in, you're going to take it and fold it back up. And then you're going to take this and you're going to wrap it like this. This is what you're going to do. And then you're going to throw it in the trash. That's the way everybody ain't got to know your business, what you just did in the bathroom. And then I take it a step further and I wrap it in tissue again. That way somebody come in behind you, they ain't got to know what you done did. And then the next tip, after you in the stall and you getting ready to change and all that good stuff, also make sure you have an extra pair of panties, because you just never know, stuff may leak out. You may have a little incident and you're already prepared. You got an extra pair of panties. And then you keep a little water bottle just like this. You can get this from Target. You can get it from Dollar Tree. And you want to spray yourself down there to make sure you ain't left no residue. That's why I always recommend you have some type of feminine wipe. This is one I pulled up really quick, but this is one. Or you can buy these, the cleansing wipes. And you can just stick it down here in your little pouch along with your tampons and your pad. But you throw this in the trash, and like I said, you keep 2 or 3 extra pads in here. And also keep your little body spray. This is Chloe. I didn't really like this, but just for the sake of the video, keep your little body spray, and you keep it in your pouch as well. And keep your little room spray. And this is my favorite, champagne toast. But you keep this in your pouch as well, along with a pair of extra panties. Because like I said, you don't want to be somewhere and you have a little leak and you ain't got no change of panties. Ain't nobody got to know what you do when you go in the stall. Take care of your business and keep it moving. But you need this little pouch. I know it's a lot in here, but I'm telling you, you got to have this emergency kit. You got to have this emergency kit, because I'm telling you, it will save your life. Y'all, yeah, I know it probably seems like it's a lot, but I'm telling you, It's the most embarrassing thing when you've had a leakage or you're not prepared, you don't have enough pads, you don't have enough tampons. It's embarrassing as heck, you guys. And another thing, while we talk about your emergency kit, another thing to do is try to make sure you're eating vegetables and drinking a lot of water, because that's going to help with the smell. See, when you're on your cycle, depending on what you've eaten, if you've eaten a bunch of fried food and eaten a bunch of junk, it's going to come out in your pores. It's going to come out in your blood. You know, it's going to come out in your flow. So if you're drinking a lot of water, that's going to help your flow be more ease. It's going to be more smoothly. You're going to still have cramps and all of that good stuff, but I'm saying you can tolerate it because the smell, because blood, when it hits the outer surface, it's going to have a smell anyway, but it don't have to be a funky smell, because we all know blood, when it hits the surface, it's going to smell. That's just like having a baby, honey. They don't tell you about that smell of cutting open skin when you having a cesarean. They don't tell you about that on them little, Lamaze class on TV. You know, they show you all the cute stuff, but honey, I'm telling you, cutting skin wound open, I know this is off subject, but cutting skin open, it smells. And so what you want to do is make sure you are, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I got my notes here, but make sure you take a shower at least 2, and I'm gonna say 3 times, because when you're on your cycle, you really don't want to just be sitting there in that overflow. You want to make sure you are constantly bathing, because the worst thing you can do when you on your periods is not shower. That's nasty as hell. So what you want to do is make sure you are taking a shower at least twice a day and freshening up in between, because I'm telling you guys, when you on your flow, you don't feel the most sexiest, you know. And then I'm gonna take it a step further. You have to do a little extra stuff when you on your cycle, because stuff is just flowing, and I say it's flowing like a river. But you want to make sure you're doing everything you can to make sure you keep yourself fresh while you're on your menstrual feminine hygiene. You know, while you're taking care of yourself on your menstrual cycle, you want to make sure you smell your absolute best as well. And then coming up to when I say taking a 2 to 3 showers a day, what you want to do is use darker bathing cloth, washcloths, because do not use no white towel, because I'm telling you, you have to throw them suckers in the trash. You know, I'm just being honest with you. I did it before because laundry was dirty and little lady showed up unexpectedly and all I had clean was some clean white towels. I threw them suckers in the trash, because when you on your cycle, you don't want no white towel. Use your dark towel, gray, something like that, but stay away from the white towels when you're on your cycle. All right. And another thing, when especially for my young girls, when you're out at school and all of that, I know they are really funky about, you know, letting y'all go to the bathroom, how often they let you go to the bathroom, which I think is really stupid, because a child cannot control that they're going to have a menstrual cycle. They're going to have it, and they need to be changing their pads. They playing, they running around at school. That's just funk on top of funk, you know, because little girls, they have some strong odors too. And I said, that's why I always constantly talk to my baby. She's like, Mama, that's just, they don't let us go to the bathroom. I said, baby, sometimes you're going to have to keep raising your hand, because you need to change, because her flow is heavy. It's like her mama's. And you got to be changing that pad at least every 2 hours. And when you at school playing and stuff, you know, that stuff coming down seems like it be coming down faster when you're playing and all that stuff. That's why I always send her to school with her little feminine hygiene emergency kit, whatever you want to call it. Because, you know, like I said, kids can be mean. They're not going to tell you you stink. They'll talk about you, but they ain't going to tell you to your face that you stink. And same way with adults. They're not going to tell you to your face that you stinky. They'll talk about you. Now, if it's somebody really close to you and they love you and want to see you do great things, then of course they will tell you. But you want to avoid all those little mishaps and embarrassing moments as possible. And then too, when you get home and you go to bed at night, make sure you put like a little towel. I always put a towel down in the bed up under me when I'm on my cycle, because I don't like to sleep with a lot of clothes on. But when it's that time of the month, I know I have to have my panties on, because stuff just ain't gonna be flowing all on my no, we're not gonna do that. That's what we're not gonna do. But I keep a towel up under me. And then too, sometimes I just sleep with my black pajamas on just to give me that extra security. So if I do leak out, it's going to hit my shorts first before it hit the towel and then go through the rest or whatever. That's why it's always important to have a mattress cover on your mattress so you can save your mattress from little mishaps. Because I know, and this may be a little too TMI, but I know right now, I seem like the older I get, my bladder just get weak and weak. I can't hold my stuff like I used to. I used to, if I have to pee, I could hold it for a little while. If I don't get on up when it first give me that inkling that I need to use the bathroom, oh, it's gonna come on down. It's gonna come on down like lemonade coming out of a cup or something. But it's gonna come on down. So you gotta make sure you're taking all the necessary precautions. And then another tip for my young ladies, well, my older women too, please don't be having no intercourse when you on your periods. That is just nasty. Just thinking about it, just nasty. That is, I know around that time of the month, I'm just gonna be honest, you the most horny as hell around that time because your body, your hormones is raging and everything. But honey, please don't do that. That's just nasty. Just some things you just gotta hold off on. And I know you're gonna be saying, Teresa, that is too much. But I'm just telling you the truth. I when I was in college, I used to have friends or associates, and they be talking about they do that stuff when they on their periods. And I was always look at them like, you for real? Like, you know what? Don't you sit on my bed. You stay over there. You know, I was the type, you know, I was that friend that when you came to my room, you're not sitting on my bed. You can sit in my chair. But you ain't sitting in my bed because I don't know what you did the day before, the night before. I don't know where you been. So, but yeah, you want to take all necessary precautions to make sure you keep your body clean while you are, you know, flowing through your monthly menstrual cycle. In an app that I use, especially for all you guys that have iPhones, I use Health, and it kind of keeps me on track when I have my monthly cycle. Because sometimes I forget, because sometimes I may come on twice. Sometimes I may skip. And like I said, I've been doing that since I was a kid. I would come on and then I skip 2 to 3 months. And here's a funny story for you. When I first started my cycle, well, here's the first story. You know, in my house, you know, we went to church every time the doors open. You know, the Hampton kids was in church every time the windows was lit up, I believe. That's why I was just burnt out when I graduated from high school. I don't think I went to church for about 6 months. I was just tired because we was in church for choir rehearsal, Bible study, missionary. We was in church for prayer meeting. We was in church for choir rehearsal. We was in church for the usher. We was in church all the time. And this particular time, all that day, I had been craving candy. I had been eating Skittles, Snickers, Hershey bar. I was eating all kind of sweets. My stomach I was cramping so bad. And my mom had already been telling me like some of the signs, you're going to be cramping a lot and your head hurts sometimes and all. So she had been preparing me for a long time. But this day, I wasn't thinking, I was like, Mama, my stomach hurts so bad. So I'm thinking in my mind, my mom was going to let me stay home from junior choir practice. But oh, honey, the mama that I was raised up with, you know, she old school. She one of the mothers. You go in the Bible study, take your pain pill, and you go in the choir rehearsal. Because I was a choir director, so lo and behold, I was cramping so bad and I asked to go to the bathroom. I had already started my cycle, y'all. I had been waiting for this day and I was 13. Yeah, I was 12 or 13. Yeah, I was 13 years old and I came on my cycle, you guys, at church. Probably had already started before I left home, but I hadn't went to the bathroom or anything, but went to the bathroom at church and there it was. And I was so embarrassed because it was just about to leak through my clothes because I didn't have a panty line on. And Mama used to always fuss at me, Denise, make sure you got your panty line on. I'd be like, yes, ma'am. And I ain't had a panty line the first time. That day I needed a panty line on because it started my cycle. So lo and behold, I still got a chance to leave from junior choir practice, but I was hurting like a dog. I was cramping. So the moral of the story is always have you something to be prepared so you won't have to have an embarrassing moment like I did coming on at church and it's seeking through. So I had to go out through the back door, have a towel wrapped around me and walk home because we stayed a couple of blocks up the street. Well, not even a couple of blocks, a couple of steps from the church. But when I tell y'all, you got to be prepared, you got to be prepared. And so some of the signs you can look for when you start your menstrual cycle is sometimes your head may hurt, sometimes your back may hurt, you get very moody, your hormones be all over the place. I know for me, I get very emotional. Like I could be sitting there watching a movie, and a movie that I know I usually don't cry on, girl, I be crying. Or if I see somebody, one of my favorite YouTubers, if I see them celebrating something, I'm crying because I'm just happy for them. I'm just emotional. And I give you a prime example. A few weeks ago, one of my favorite YouTubers, All of Destiny. Make sure y'all follow her. But she just purchased her first new home. And boy, when I tell y'all, I was over here crying like a big baby, as if it was me just got the keys. Like I was picturing in my head, I just got my keys to my house. I was so happy for her because I've seen her over the years, how hard she's worked. I think I found her channel like 2 years ago. But yeah, I've seen her over the years, how hard she works. She's just a little gentle spirit. Sometimes she reminds me of my younger self. And boy, I'm sitting over here just crying like a doggone baby because I was happy for her. But it's like that time of the month, I'd be so emotional. Like any little thing will make me cry. It don't even have to be nothing sad. It's just, I'd be so emotional. So you also know when it's getting close to that time of the month, you start craving a lot of sweets. And Lord knows, I love me some chocolate with some peanuts in it. And around that time of the month, I know it's coming because I be wanting chocolate like every day. And I be like upset when I can't get it. But I'm telling you guys, you will know when it's that time because stuff starts to feeling off. You either get a headache, like I said, you start craving chocolate. It don't even have to be chocolate. You start craving sweets. And then here's another tip. And my mother is in my head. But she always said, baby, whatever you do, do not take baths while you are on your periods because that's just it's not healthy, it's not good. And then she will always say, Denise, don't wash your hair. You don't need your pores, your scalp to be open and all that while you're on your cycle because it'll make you sick. You know, this old tales my mother used to tell me. But I believe it's kind of like some truth to the one on the bath. But now my hair, I wash my hair while I'm on my cycle. But my mom, growing up in my mom's house, she wouldn't let me wash my hair or anything when I was on my cycle. I couldn't take a bath. I would always have to take a shower, which I understand that because when you on your cycle, you don't need to be just sitting in the stuff. That's just nasty. So these are some tips that I hope that helps you along the way and to let you know that it's okay. We all got to go through it. We all are human, and if I can help the younger ladies up under me and even women my age, because you'd be surprised at how women our age, we are still learning on this hygiene stuff. I'm telling you the truth. You don't ever get too old to learn a new thing, a new trick about your hygiene. To me, I think it's an ongoing cycle for you to learn more about how to keep yourself fresh when it's that time of the month, how to keep yourself fresh even when it's not that time of the month. And then the last tip that I'm going to share with y'all is I believe I'm getting ready to go or start menopause because, yeah, I be walking around the house and it be smack dead in the winter and I be sweating bullets. Like, I ain't going to say, I don't sweat that much, but I be hot. Like, I be hot all the time and I be just want to come out of my clothes. That's how hot I be. And I would call mama because I'm like, mama, what is going on? Like, I'm over here sweating and it's cold outside and I'm hot. Like, I don't want no cover on me. I don't want nothing. And she said, baby, you just going through premenopause. And I'm like, well, Ishmael, I'll give it to you later. Here. But yeah, what I was saying is, I would be like just hot as I don't know what. So what I've started doing, I drink a lot of cold water. And y'all know I'm an ice eater. I'm trying my best to stop y'all, but it's so hard. Y'all comment below if y'all like to eat ice. Because boy, I promise you, especially that ice from Sonic and then Chick-fil-A ice. Oh my goodness. It's thebomb.com, y'all. But what I'm saying to you is, some of the signs is your cycle starts to get, you start missing cycles. Because sometimes I haven't did it in a while, but sometimes I would miss 3 months in a row. And I know ain't nothing else going on because we through with the kids over here. We through with that. But that's the least of my concern. But it's getting to that stage where I'm getting, you know, getting ready to start menopause, I guess, or premenopause, whatever. But I know I be hot. Y'all comment below if y'all be hot for no reason. And it's like, really, is this what menopause is? I ain't looking forward to that one. I mean, good God, can't you just say we as women, we go through so much? But I'm going to leave y'all with this other joke here. I'm going to leave y'all with this other joke. I forgot it. Never mind. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Prior to this one, make sure if you missed any of my previous ones, go back and hit the replay. Follow me on Instagram and also follow me over on TikTok. But I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.